You sure?
Yeah, please dive in.
Thanks. They
Chocolate
were very
coins
distinct. Do you know what? In my top 10 smells, possibly even top 5, the smell of a garden centre.
Yes.
So, talking as we were briefly about smells. Top smells, garden centre. You know, the usual stuff, rain on dry ground and all that kind of thing. But worst smells.
Well, vomit.
Vomit is bad.
I can't handle vomit, I really can't.
Vomit is pretty bad.
It just makes me lurch instantly. Dealing with my kids when they vommed when I was young, when they were younger, was a particular challenge.
It's hard work, isn't it? Yeah.
I had a drill for it, which my missus thought was hilarious, which is 8 pumps of my strongest aftershave and then pull the t-shirt right over my nose.
Oh God, really? You're that bad?
Oh God, I would just throw straight away.
Shit.
Yeah, I could clear up a whole room full of shit though.
Yeah.
I could sweep turds up and cleanse after.
I would sort of, well,
I don't know why.
I think I would rather clear up a room of shit than a room of sick.
Yeah, I would. But
Yeah.
but when
It lingers, the smell of sick. But what I was going to say is, and this may actually be pertinent to what I was going to say, that I've realised in the pantheon of worst smells, I reckon, and I've never experienced it
yeah,
for myself, but if you went onto a recently landed long-haul aeroplane
yes,
and that was the first time you'd been on an aeroplane, you had actually been on the ground the whole day, and then 747 lands.
and you're the first one to open it.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Either you become immune to it, or in fact, those ground crew every time go. Yeah!
Do they open it and just walk back for about 30 seconds?
I'm wondering if one person opens it and then they're immediately allowed to go on a break and sit in a sweet-smelling room with jasmine and lavender and those sort of incense burners and stuff, just to get over the trauma, and then they leave it a minute, and then the other people can go in with caution, because let's be honest, it's still going to be vile.
Well,
It's
I
an
reckon-
aluminium tube full of recycled farts
yeah, well, it absolutely is.
and sweat and possibly sick.
I remember coming back from coming back from Japan on an overnight long haul,
Oh,
business class. Luckily, got a chap in front of me though was a portly business gentleman, and he'd fallen asleep instantly after 3 wines on the ground or whatever, and was snoring, but just huffing guffs out. I mean, just guff, just like a whole tin of Family Circle being opened. I mean, what's going on? The problem was it was so thick. It was a proper arse fog moment, and I was embarrassed because I was still eating food. I was quite hungry, and every time the lovely kind of hostess woman came over, I didn't say it, but I just wanted to say that smell of just pure manure is not me. It's the dude that's asleep just there.
did it cross your mind to go? Call everyone in the cabin crew. And go, I hate to be a nuisance, but that man's arse is going off all the time. Could you have a word with him, please?
It is like an invisible Roman candle. Yeah.
Imagine that, and you're sort of multiplying that by however many people are on the plane. Cause
I don't like the air on a plane, I have to say.
No, it's awful.
I start to become mildly, not phobic's way too strong. I think if a flight goes over about sort of 7 hours,
Yeah.
I start to feel like the air is polluting me, and I have to just get out.
Yeah.
I have to get out.
Yeah, but it probably is.
It probably is me, yeah.
Though also the thinness of the air and the fact that it's then being sort of recycled. I've had really good ideas on planes, and I think it's because you get a bit giddy.
Yeah.
Because of the thin air. I mean, I say really good ideas. I mean, they're not actually good ideas per se. Really abstract ideas.
Yeah.
I once wrote a song for our podcast called "Eddie Irvine Lives in My Wardrobe," and I came up with that on a plane.
Did you?
Yeah, because the air was thin and I'd gone a bit lightheaded, and I suddenly went, wouldn't it be funny if that annoying ex-Irish F1 driver, lived in your wardrobe? And I don't think that's an idea I would have been able to have at ground level.
No.
You need the thin air.
I might do that, so I could be at my creative best when on a long-haul flight.
Well, what if you became a really famous, I don't know, screenwriter or novelist or something, but you could only achieve your peak work at altitude? You'd have to spend loads of your income from this profession on just flying needlessly to New York and back or something.
What, and you just touch down and you just have dinner?
Or you could buy an old aeroplane and just repeatedly have it pressurised at ground level. I'm off to the office, dear, and you just go and sit in an old 737 in a field.
And it's got projectors on the windows.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's also partly the sense of being literally up in the air that
I think it's
liberates
I bet
the mind.
you there's something to do with the fact that you are not in control of the situation.
Yes.
And you know you've got another 4 hours of it, or whatever.
Yeah, there's a sort of giddy claustrophobia as well, isn't there?
And you can't. I like the fact that I guess you can now because of Wi-Fi and stuff. But I like the fact that you are uncontactable for a set amount of time. Finally, your life is back in control. Because I think we live in a world where you're not always in control, even if you want to be, and it is kind of frustrating.
How many times have you had a long flight ahead of you and you're travelling for work, perhaps, and you're on your own? How many times have you taken your laptop going, I'll do some work on the plane? And how many times have you actually done work on the plane?
Oh, no.
Because for me, the ratio is probably, well, it's like out of 100 times, I've done work 0 times.
Oh, really?
Because it's terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's not true. I've done
I find it very
had to. But.
Yeah, I've had to. I find it very difficult to write on planes, as in like sit and type and really.
Well, I'd never. I mean, I suppose if you're in business, you've got a bit more room, but ergonomically.
Otherwise, you're like this.
Because the seat in front is like that, and your laptop screen naturally is supposed to be like that, and
it doesn't work. It won't work.
And then you go, oh, there's some movies I haven't seen, and also they're giving me booze, and that's it. The working day is done.
Well, you go, oh look, I haven't seen Face Off for
Yeah,
10 years.
yeah, exactly.
Because
they do now, don't they? A lot of the airlines now have a lovely back catalogue of films, and you go, brilliant. I haven't seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom for at least 4 years, so I'll watch that rather than doing any work. Yes, I'll have some more wine, please.
That's totally what I do. I go for the retrospective films.
Yeah. Although
Often.
I went to China with work once. I was doing consulting on a telly show, and
I know, Richard.
And they flew us business class, and on the way back, the colleague I'd gone out there with was staying on, so I went back on my own. And there were only 4 people in the business class cabin on this Virgin flight,
really?
And we were massively delayed on the ground because of a storm. And the captain came on and went, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid the delay will now be another 45 minutes. I really apologise for that. And this lovely cabin crew lady, just as she walked back with an empty bottle of champagne, she went, I'll open another one. So, got quite sauced before we even took off.
And how long was the flight?
Oh, like 10, 11 hours, something like that. Well, took off, already a bit giddy. We've been talking to these 4 other people. We were all sitting in a row as well. Those Virgin ones that turn into a bed, but they're sort of,
Yeah.
And we'd been talking, and we got quite friendly. There was this lovely Scottish couple, and then there was this young lad who, I don't know, it was very mysterious where his money came from. But anyway, and we'd become quite friendly. So then we took off, and you know those Virgin planes have a bar at one end of the upper class section. We all went and sat at the bar. And got a bit stuck in, and because there's only the cabin crew, there's sort of like 3 or 4 cabin crew. They've got nothing to do because all of the people they're supposed to be looking after sit in the bar. So they were all just standing around. We were having a nice chat with them, talking about everything, and it was great. But I got really drunk, and I got so drunk. Started watching a film, and then I realised that it was in Mandarin.
What?
There was a film of an Inspector Calls, you know, the J.B. Priestley play, which I remember studying at school, and I've seen it as a play, and I saw it.
And you went, oh.
Because it had a multilingual thing, but I saw it and it sort of, had the Chinese writing, and but it said Inspector Calls in English, and I went, oh, Inspector Calls, and I put it on. And I was like, oh, it's a Chinese production. And I was watching it, I was going, oh yeah, I remember there's the dad's ridiculous, and then there's all the...
What, did you pass out for a while?
I can't follow it. Of course I can't follow it. It's fucking Mandarin or Cantonese, I don't know. I don't know because I don't speak either of them.
I find, and maybe it's an altitude thing, I get more emotionally involved with films.
Holy shit.
I don't know why though.
The first time I watched Sixth Sense was on a plane.
And you were sucked right in?
I was blubbing like a baby. It was ridiculous. Once, you find out
it must be a thing then. The thin air must definitely change the way your senses and must heighten your emotion.
Yeah.
Because I watched certain films, I came back and gushing to my missus saying, you've got to see this film, it's just so...
Oh, well, that's the other thing, yes, your critical faculty goes out the window and you'll go, you've got to see this film, it's absolutely amazing.
So hang on, if Mark Kermode only watched films on a plane, would everything be brilliant? The thing about this film is I just really enjoyed it, it was wonderful, and I cried. The end.
Mark Kermode's I've been on aeroplane film reviews.
What can
It
we
was
say about
absolutely
this?
brilliant. I loved it. It was great. I have had 3 small bottles of wine. But the first act really sets the scene for the whole movie. The second act, I don't know, I fell asleep. The third act was wonderful, although I was crying for most of it.
Brutally honest.
That's my review of Schindler's List.
And you know it was an inaccurate review because Simon Mayo would be really happy and going, I watched this film and it was amazing. It was so exciting from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat. I loved it. I was gushing. And you go, Simon, you're not that kind of guy.
Yeah, what
have you been
what
doing?
was happening? Have you been on a plane? Have you been on a
Yeah.
plane? No, I think Kermode reviews. He has to watch all his movies on a plane, and Simon Mayo watches them at sea level, and is able to provide some kind of checks and balances.
And then they
Yeah.
Then they check their own notes and go.
Yeah, well, then he'll go because Kermode will go, and I mean, some bits of the plot were slightly confusing. Although that's because I forgot to pause it when I went for a wee. So Simon, I don't know. Could you explain who that guy in the black suit was? Because I couldn't. You know, it's hard to rewind a lot of those touchscreen systems. So
Oh,
I
it is.
just carried on.
Yeah. Have you ever had technical problems on in-flight entertainment?
Yes.
Statistically, you will have done. You know, usually where the host will come over and go, I'm just going to go and reset the system.
Yes. Yes.
And you because you're on a long flight, you cross your fingers. You go, please reset properly. Please don't be a shit system. Anyway, I had a shit system on a long haul flight once, and I remember it vividly. Which was the James Bond where you had the Korean Pierce Brosnan, Korean guy with diamonds in his face.
That was
Zhao was the baddie. Zhao.
Tomorrow Never Dies, wasn't it?
Does it start?
No,
with
Die
a
Another Day.
big, Does it start with a big tank chase?
Yes.
Right.
No, hovercraft chase.
Yeah, it's a hovercraft, and then the's been chased by tanks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that was
I've
Tomorrow
seen the
Never-
big.
Die Another Day.
I've seen the first 30 minutes of that film 9 times on one flight, and it kept cutting out at exactly the same moment to the point where it's like I want to see it, even though I'd seen the film before. It's like it's gonna cut out. It is. Oh no! And I just kept giving it another chance. Oh, it'll be fine now. I'll just watch it again. I'm sorry, it must have improved.
Why were you so desperate to watch Die Another Day? It's not very good.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think I was bored out of my mind. And
Maybe.
none of the other films seem to appeal.
You
So
could
I
have just
thought-
watched the Chinese version of Inspector Calls. It's a classic.
But and also, I don't think I clearly couldn't fast forward or rewind. It was pre that.
Yeah, they're terrible for that though as well. They never do very well.
So I had to just sit through it, and it would reset at the same time. So I go, we've just had the tank chase. It's going to explode all the camp. The camp all explodes.
And then Madonna's doing some fencing in a private
Yeah.
members club.
Bugger me! I've watched the beginning of that film so many times. Die another day.
I think I die
Another day. You
Hasn't
never
that
hear
got that
that?
terrible bit in it where she goes, Sigmund Freud, analyse this.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
You
awful.
never hear Die Another Day being played.
I heard it the other day, but that's because I was listening to the best of Madonna.
Oh, were you?
Oh yeah. Well,
Not Immaculate Collection 1 and 2. That's way
No,
after
the
that.
later one, Celebration, which it's got some of her tat on it as well as all the good stuff. So it's got
You-
only got 5 minutes to take them up.
Oh, I hate that.
Grab a boy, grab a girl. Yeah, it's not good.
That's gash. Yeah.
Is she 60? She's 60 now, isn't she?
I think she is 60.
She had a fall, didn't she, at the Brit Awards?
Is that the cloak incident?
Yeah.
It's still-
But just the bit that I thought wasn't really dwelt on long enough was that I think the line she just sung was, I let down my guard, and then she was pulled down some steps by a cloak. I've watched that clip over and over more times than I should probably admit. I don't know why I find it funny. It's not funny when an old lady falls downstairs, is it?
Oh, it's gone up my nose. Oh, that is funny though.
Do you know what I love?
No.
Posters for club nights at traffic lights in urban areas.
Yeah,
Because they're always amazing.
they are.
And I'm mesmerised by them. There's a load of them near me because they've put a hoarding around a building site at some traffic lights. They're always at traffic lights.
They are always.
But there's a
maximum
hoarding
attention.
right by some traffic lights. So it's become plastered in these club night things. And I'm often at those lights. And I love just looking because here's my belief about those club night posters.
Go on.
They make you feel old because it's always a list of people you've never heard of. So
Yes.
it'll say like sort of maximum garage night or something.
Yeah.
And then it'll be, you know,
Tiddy Bunting.
Tiddy.
MCD Light.
Yeah, Ride and Slice, and you'll go, I don't know who any of these people are.
Who's
What the fuck? And then and here is the rule of those posters at traffic lights in urban areas. Somewhere buried in there,
you'll find somebody.
There'll be one name that you've heard of.
You'll bring that up. I'd sit there and go, don't know that.
So you go, what's
Mickey
it?
Finn. I remember Mickey Finn.
Wazzy Cack and optimum level. You still don't know who these people are, and then it'll just say Shanks and Bigfoot. And you go, I heard of them. Yeah. I remember them from the 90s.
Yeah. Do you know what? That would be a really good. I don't know if that exists, but a really good Twitter handle of like people taking pictures and. There was one near me that's very faded, and someone's tried to rip it off because it's 2 years at least out of date. And it's somebody, Maxi Priest.
A classic of the genre.
I was turning into Roundabout as I clocked it, and I went, Maxi Priest, what did Maxi Priest sing? And I was going up, all the way up the dual carriageway going, what did Maxi Priest actually sing?
Didn't he do a cover of Wild World?
Oh yes.
Baby, it's a wild world.
Yes, he did.
Maxi Priest and Shabba was his other thing.
Yeah, Shabba.
But then, it's always that. It'll be sort of, you know, smooth urban sounds night.
Yeah.
And it'll be, you know,
my favourite kind of night, to be honest.
Cheeky Pete and Alan Lazarus and all this sort of stuff, and you're going, who the fuck are they doing at the bottom? Shola Amma.
Oh yeah,
I remember her.
Yeah,
Whatever happened to Shola Amma? Well, look, she's at the Brixton Fridge or something.
And then you make a decision based upon the 1 out of 8 people you know. Go, is that worth me going to?
I've never thought of going to any night that's advertised on a poster at a traffic light.
I think one time I was going through a low patch, I think, and it was yeah, thanks for that. And it was
because I'm making the leap ahead where you've gone, life's not panning out the way I thought. I know, I'll go to a club night advertised a thing, because although I've never heard of any of these people,
it was back to 92.
Eddie Grant's Day.
It was back to 92 New Year's Eve blowout, or New Year's Eve massive it was called.
Right, of course.
And I thought, okay, back to 92. I was going, okay, well. You know, I remember 92 quite well. Lots of people. And again, I was reading through them, going, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Am I going to go to a New Year's Eve party where I know 1 in 10 people, as in the act?
Yes,
not the actual people.
Yeah, that'd be quite a high hit rate. People. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, but I saw SL2 on there.
Oh,
and I went, SL2.
Well, I hope they'll do their hit.
They had more than 1 hit actually. I think they had 3.
On a ragger tip.
Yes.
Obviously. Classic.
DJs Take Control.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was one of my favourites. I used to play in the Beatle when I had my Technic speakers. And there is another one.
Wow.
Way in My Brain. Way in My Brain. No. It's another like reggae.
Oh, okay.
Really good. SL2 were awesome.
All right, okay.
They still are around, I think.
Really? Oh, well, look out for them on the things that...
I went to a club...
Ploughing through the list and then...
I'm going to a rave tomorrow night.
What?
Genuinely. With my mates from school. Yeah, I am.
Where?
I totally forgot that one of my oldest friends organised it about 2 months ago, and I didn't put it in the diary. And he went, boys, there's like 90s club night in Bristol. You got LTJ Bookham, and you got a couple of others.
LTJ Bookham?
Yeah, I'm going to see him tomorrow night.
No way.
Yeah, in Bristol.
See, I would have recognised his name on the poster when I saw it.
There you go, you see. But there'll be tomorrow night. There'll be 8 other DJs where I go, don't know that guy. Who's the MC again?
Caslow, who the hell's that? I don't know any of these people.
MC
MG Midget? No, that's the,
MC,
I mean, I like the sound of it in a way. But.
MC Midget?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Hot Pockets? No, not got them.
So I'm going to this club. It's going to be real late night. And I sound like an old tit, but I think it starts at midnight. It ends at 5 or 6. So I've got to get fully fired up. I don't know how I'm going to manage the stamina. Yeah.
Well,
so I'm seeing LTJ Bookham and many others.
And many people you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Just do me a favour.
Yeah.
Just take a picture of the poster for my collection.
Can I? Yeah, I will do. For me, it's all about the emceeing. When I used to listen to those rave tapes at school, it would be all about the MC. The MC knowing when to come in and not come in. A bad MC would just talk over all the really good samples. When the beat comes in and the crowd's supposed to be, he'd just jabber some toss right over the ring.
I think I saw that on a poster. Jabber some toss.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's playing tomorrow night.
Him. Jabber toss. Hear me now!
Eddie Irvine lives in my wardrobe. He's inconsiderate to me. Yesterday I found a massive speedboat on the shelf where my pants should be. Eddie Irvine lives in my wardrobe. It's insufferable to me. On Saturday he had Eddie Jordan over